High schoolers have a lot on their plate, from school itself, to extracurriculars, homework, societies, family life, social life, and the search for a job or college. A single day for a high schooler might be packed tightly with little time for rest. It is not surprising, in turn, that this, along with a technology-based modern life, that teens are prone to staying up late, and sleeping less than they should. When people don't get the required sleep, they tend to have slower reaction times, less alertness, a decrease in focus and attention, an increase in distractibility, along with other important executive functions. It can come to no surprise, then, that teens tend to exhibit these traits nearly every day. For the purpose of helping the lives of teens, what changes can we make as a collective, and what changes must be done individually? To learn how to improve the sleep deprivation in teenagers, to fix the attention span epidemic, one must get the opinions of teenagers alike and different. The first step in my search is to talk to the teens themselves. I asked many teenagers about their opinion on how much sleep they and their peers get, the effects, and why they feel that way. I asked a selection of different teenagers, ranging from 15 to 19, a few sleep-related questions and collected their answers.
Gabrielle Cruz, 18, when asked do you think you get enough sleep, said, "No, I don't think so, due to needing to wake up around 5 a.m. every weekday for school." When asked what is stopping you from getting the sleep you feel you need, she stated, "I think what's stopping teens or like me from sleep, are either devices like social media or entertainment on our devices for long periods time, or either outside factors with school, work, stress, personal lives, or mental health, physical health, medical reasons." When asked do you notice attention span differences when you don't get enough sleep, she stated, "Yes, well, I don't often think about how much of my attention span is versus a good amount of sleep. When I would usually have less than 7 hours of sleep, I tend to be less concentrated and more distracted or forget more often than I need to be or not feel engaged with any activity as well." When asked do you think teens are aware of the effects of sleep deprivation, she stated,
"I don't think teens know the side effects of sleep deprivation unless it comes to a more serious effect like insomnia or depression, since I feel like in my personal experience I didn't think much of it, and thought that's just normal and nothing to worry about, even though they're very bad side effects with higher blood pressure, higher chance of a stroke, gain weight, more anxiety, depression, breathing, more fatigue, sleep paralysis, and more often they just pass off, just tired than taking in the eternal damage of what causes them to have this subtle but huge impact on them, or either they do know and don't care, since they're young and don't have to worry about all those effects until their adulthood, or even then ignore it until it's severe and serious the damages they caused on themselves."
Finally, when asked do you think external stress contributes to the overuse of technology, she states, "I think yes, since we all cope stress or anxiety or any emotion in different ways, and that tend to lean to harmful or negative unhealthy habits, since in my personal opinion I sometimes use my phone to serve as a sort of escapism for reality. And sure, it can serve as a distraction or entertainment from our everyday situations or problems we have. But when you start to rely on the coping mechanism for yourself, then it turns more an obsession towards relying on it rather than some sorts of entertainment or something to relax, which then makes you more reliable to that one option you cope, almost like a bad habit or addiction, which is harder to break since it brings us comfort yet also makes us dissociate from reality, and never wanting almost face whatever is bothering us, almost like not wanting to go to bed at all or ever, which that's a problem."
Her mention of stress being a factor in the ability of teens to regulate their use of technology made me think a great deal about it. Perhaps it was not just a simple road, that sleep deprivation causes a loss in focus, but instead the stress of teenage lives influenced how they would spend their free time. I continued my research with this in mind.
Milo Krishon, 17, when asked these same questions responded, "Sometimes, but not nearly often enough. Most of the time I get enough sleep, it's because I'm too depressed to stay awake. Definitely my online presence and the internet in general, it's hard to put it down when there's so much stimulation and things to learn even if it is too late. I never thought about a direct correlation, but maybe. Though most of the time I don't get enough sleep, I spend the day catching up on sleep through naps rather than getting antsy at stuff. It's hard to tell because I'm kind of antsy in general. Nope. I think part of the reason teens stay up so late is because there don't seem to be many adverse effects, regardless of whether or not they're actually there. Yes, by offering an escape of some sort to its users. Especially on social media, even though the results often are more stressful than if users had strayed away from it."
When questioning further teenagers, the answers fell within these responses. It seems that some teens are aware of their sleeping habits, and agree that the use of technology is one of the greatest contributors to the sleep deprivation epidemic, usually exacerbated by stress that accumulates throughout the day. So who, or what, can help these teenagers? Change to Chill is a mindfulness and stress relief resource for teenagers. It promotes awareness for teenagers on what stresses them out, the effects of stress itself, and how one can help, alleviate, and manage the stress of teenage life. Not only do they have all of their materials online for anyone to look, read, and learn about, they send out representatives to create chill zones, which detail and open their stress relief curriculum and coping mechanisms, such as worksheets or simple creative outlets. Not only do they have these outlets for general stress, they also have resources for teenagers who may experience more or specific kinds of stress. Student athletes, students under 18, teenagers who are LGBTQ+, students who are Native or Indigenous, and those who want help with life balance. Through school partnerships, lessons, podcasts, and other forms of having the amazing Change to Chill curriculum known, the epidemic of not just teenagers' focus, teenagers' sleep health, as well as the stress teenagers experience. When it comes to the well-being of teenagers, what might be the cause of one problem might only be the effect of another. The stress of teenage life causes the overuse of technology, which then causes teenagers to sacrifice their own sleep. Sleep deprivation only worsens the stress of life, which further propagates the cycle of stress and sleep, where the only noticeable aspect of this to others is the attention deficit. The cycle can only be stopped at the source, which is the unmanageable stress which teenagers experience, that may be helped through the use of stress relief advocacy groups like Change to Chill.